You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, guys and gals, it seems, and we don't know for sure, but it's very suspicious anyway. It seems the overlords over at the ESPN mothership may have finally had enough with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers may be talking about the vaccine, and when just talking about his Halloween costume or what he might have dressed up as. Now, as we know, we're only like 10 days removed from Aaron Rodgers dropping this gem about Dr. Fauci and how he, of course, was defying science. Well, we'll look at what I'm going to show you in a minute.
You got to guard your desk.
Well, we got a guy that Aaron does things his own way, you know?
You're right. Look at his Achilles, right? That's what you're talking about. This guy does stuff his own way. He actually defies science. This guy right here, right now. That's what they're saying about you. Shannon Sharp said this morning.
It's like we learned, if science is Dr. Fauci, you damn right I'm defying science.
Okay, that's on me.
Okay, so Aaron Rodgers said that back on the 17th on Pat McAfee Show, which of course is shown on ESPN Plus and YouTube, and I don't know whether or not that was a ESPN portion of the show where it was actually on ESPN, because there's 2 hours on ESPN, and then there's another hour that's on ESPN Plus and on YouTube. Well, of course, guys, it's Tuesday. It's NFL trade deadline Tuesday. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is making his Pat McAfee appearance, and I bring you over here. This is today. That is Aaron Rodgers in the middle. And of course, that's A.J. Hawk is Edward Scissorhands, and maybe Pat McAfee's the shark from Jaws or Shamu or something. I don't know what the hell Pat McAfee's dressed up as. But they just whispered a little bit about the vaccine. And ESPN, people are speculating now, may have cut the feed during this. Watch this.
I had my costume on last night, but
What was it?
What was
couldn't wear it today. I apologize.
Fauci? What was it?
A vaccine?
A doctor? A scientist?
It was a spike protein.
Oh,
And folks, that was it. You'll notice it's still going. It's still going. Yes. Black. Okay. That's where the feed went away for Pat McAfee's show. It went black. Fade to black. Now, we really don't know what happened here. In case you're wondering, spike protein, he said he's dressing up as spike protein. Moderna and the vaccine teaches your cells how to make copies of spike protein. That's what Aaron Rodgers said during the Pat McAfee show. I mean, right around the, look at this. Oh, and then the feed's cut. That's very interesting indeed, that it's possible that this feed, that ESPN started panicking because there's been a lot of, Anthony Fauci and Travis Kelce, Fauci versus RFK Jr. and Aaron Rodgers Hell in a Cell debate. Remember all that, which Travis Kelce pussed out of? Does everybody remember that? Yeah, here it is. It looks like the feed got cut. I mean, we don't know that it did for sure, but that's kind of odd. It's kind of convenient, isn't it? It's kind of odd. It is kind of convenient, I think. Anyway, very quickly, just as a side note to all this, Taylor Lewan, formerly of the Titans, and now he's on, he's Bussing with the Boys, the podcast. He has come out, he has heard from sources when exactly Aaron Rodgers might be coming back from that Achilles tear. Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, the New York Jets won another game this weekend. They are actually staying afloat right now without Aaron Rodgers and with Zach Wilson. And now you're seeing that. Taylor Lewan has learned Aaron Rodgers is coming back in December. Now, we know he had that different kind of procedure done, special procedure, what they call like a bridge, some kind of a bridge correction involving his Achilles. And we've seen him. We saw him this past weekend, of course, dropping back, throwing the ball. And by the way, he did talk to Kirk Cousins about his injury. Taylor Lewan isn't believing everything he's hearing when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. So even Taylor Lewan says he heard this, but he's skeptical about it. With the Bussin' with the Boys host said sources have told him that Rodgers, rehabbing from an Achilles tear suffered 4 plays into the 2023 season, is coming back before the year is over. Quote, I talked to somebody the other day, and he said he's coming back in December. Lewan told Up and Adams podcast show on Monday, quote, that's what I've heard. The former Titan star didn't seem to be putting much stock into it. Quote, I think going back to injuries, people saying Achilles injuries are 6 to 9 months. I would assume he's not going to play during the season. Considering the degree of injury Rodgers sustained, Lewan doesn't believe the NFL will see a full-throttle Rodgers until next year. Quote, if he comes out and plays, that's one thing. If he plays and he can stay healthy, can he be the Aaron Rodgers we all know and love? That's where we are literally throwing out the medical book on everything. And of course, we saw him the other day throwing the ball before the game, before the Jets game. He was out there. He was doing little dropbacks, throwing the ball. Wow, that's interesting. Nobody would have even dreamed that Aaron Rodgers would have a prayer in hell of coming back this year from an Achilles tear until we found out he got this bridge procedure done. And now there's Mike Greenberg said something maybe 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that I heard. And about him maybe coming back late December, something like that. Who knows? I mean, who has any idea when Aaron Rodgers could come back? The idea would be if the Jets somehow, some way could sneak into the playoffs. I believe the first playoff game would be the second week of January. I may be wrong. But second week of January or something, and Rodgers could possibly play in that first playoff game. I don't know. I think that's crazy. And you tell me in the comments section below, freak situation with Pat McAfee and the feed just dropping out, or did ESPN put Aaron Rodgers on ice and cut the feed? Cut the feed. That's awfully interesting. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.